Good morning. Welcome back to the PCT. It's day 2. Last night we stopped at 15.1, 15.2 Hauser Creek because we didn't want to push any further. And I was too tired to make a outro video, so you know, if you've seen that one, well, it wasn't there, but I'm sure I will put the distance covered on the closing clip or something. And this morning we are starting from 15.12 Hauser Creek. We're actually not too sure how far we are going to go today. Our first objective is this big climb. I will actually show you that. So we're gonna climb over that and a bit more. So the first objective is climb over that and get down to Lake Morena. And then probably we're gonna sit down there, maybe have breakfast or something. And then we're gonna go from there, and probably we'll have time to create a little plan. My girlfriend Heine is giving us a hard time in the mornings because yesterday we were at the southern terminus, and as we took her photos and whatnot, and as she put down her pack, she quickly grabbed her left hand, I think, and she was in pain. I was like, oh no, hopefully she didn't, sprint or something stupid even before we started, but apparently it was a cramp or something like that, so that's good. And then this morning, as we literally just started, so it was not even a minute into the hike, and as we started to climb up, she slipped on a sandy surface and almost ended up in a bush. So yeah, it's 2 days in a row she's trying to give us heart attacks, so not great. Hopefully she will stop that. It's not great to start the day with a worry like that. Anyways, let me show you a quick 360-ish. Right, enjoy. Right, we are making some progress, quite slow, but yeah. So basically we've been going for 54 minutes at this point, and we only managed to do 2k, which is a mile and a quarter, while we gained around, I want to say 700, maybe 800 feet, and there's another 600 and something left to go. And the sun is coming up, which is bad news. I mean, it's good news, but you don't want to be exposed on this ascent, or any ascent for that matter. But yeah, we are just waiting for Heine. I obviously don't want to leave her behind, or not far anyways, but she's struggling with the heels. But yeah, hopefully we can make a bit of a progress soon. It's gonna flat out for a bit here, and then a bit more up, and then hopefully we get to the top, and it's all downhill, or pretty much downhill to Lake Morena. Right, as you can see, the sun is making its way up to the horizon, and yeah, it's gonna get hot again, I guess. Ooh. But yeah, so we are making some progress, and we have roughly 450 feet of elevation left to gain to get to the top of this climb. And then we're gonna make our way down to Lake Morena, and yeah, fun times. There's a gentle breeze, which is quite nice. Actually, it helps a bit, it cools you down, although you know it's not too warm yet. I mean, I wish the temperature was like this all day long, because that would be just perfect, but unfortunately that's not the case. So yeah, let's crack on. We are 3 miles in just 2 hours, so not a great pace, but I'm not sure if you could hear the birds singing. So anyways, 3 miles in, roughly 0.6 to the top of the climb, and probably gonna stop there for a few minutes, or somewhere nearby anyways, and have a quick breakfast or something, because you know we've been going for 2 hours and we didn't eat anything before we left camp, so you know we're gonna need some energy. So yeah, and then we're gonna make our way down to Morena. Probably gonna pop into the shop, grab a cold soft drink or something, and make a plan for the next section. And we quickly stopped for 5-ish, 10 minutes maybe, just for a quick bite, bit snack time, and yeah, we are heading down to the lake, or towards the lake. You can see that in the picture. Yeah, looks nice. We're gonna find that malt shop. I'm probably gonna get a cold drink. And then we have to figure out what we want to do today. Obviously, Mont Laguna is too far, because that's like, you know, mile 40 or something, and so we're not gonna get there. So we have to figure out where we want to camp tonight, and where we can get water from. So yeah, just the usual. Well, I just got to Lake Morena, and we are heading to the shop. Yeah, so far 3 hours and about 5 miles, less than 5 miles. So, not a great pace whatsoever. So I'm really not sure how this is going to work, or how this is, you know, how we're gonna do this, but And it's only the morning of day 2, so. But first, a cold drink from the shop. Here we go. Hello. Just so you can see her in the shot as well. Right, so we are just leaving Lake Moreno. We stopped at the malt shop. Highly recommended. Thanks for the guys. And it's a nice little shop. I didn't really browse that much, so I didn't really check the prices. But either way, you know, you could resupply here. So if you don't want to carry a whole lot of food on your first day or so, you can just, you know, resupply there. They have nice food. We didn't actually buy any, but there was a lady who bought a whole pizza, but she couldn't eat it all, so I had a slice of that and it was delicious. So it was really nice. Yeah, and as we passed the campground, we filled up our water bottles, just to have enough for the next section. Well, we are aiming for Boulder Oaks campground, which is 6 miles from here, and with I want to say 750-ish feet elevation gain. And after that, tomorrow is it's gonna be tough, because there's a big elevation gain there. So basically, from the malt shop or the campground to Mount Laguna is like 14,000 something feet. So we're gonna do obviously 750-ish today, at least, and the rest will be tomorrow. So that means I think it's roughly like 3,600 will be left tomorrow. And fun fact, that is higher or more than the highest peak in Hungary, which is, I don't know in feet, it's 1,014 meters, say 3,000, let's say 400-ish feet. So yeah, fun times ahead. Yeah, so that's it. Let me show you the view quick, because you are here for the view, not for me. It's quite nice. Not much shade. I mean, there are a few trees around here at least. But we'll see how it looks further down the line. Okay, right, see you later. Let me show you the view. Right, so we are trying to be smarter today and take a longer break midday to beat the heat a bit. We are aiming for Buxman Spring Road, I think it's called. Can't remember. Even though I just looked at it, but it's 2 miles from here. And so hopefully we're gonna get there around, I don't know, 12:15, 12:30 maybe, so in an hour. And then we can have a, you know, an hour or two of rest before we continue on. We are planning to stop at a creek where there's a bit of a flow, so we can soak our feet for a bit, and then we're gonna carry on to Boulder Oak campground, and then after that we'll see. We might stay there, might carry on, we'll see how we feel. Right. Hello. We've just had an hour and a half of a break under the main road, on the road, before Boulder Oaks campground, and now we are heading to this campground where we should be able to refill our water bottles, and we can decide what we want to do. There's a campsite about 8 miles from here, but problem is that it involves around I want to say 1600 feet of elevation, which my girlfriend and Kimberly are not really keen to do, especially not my girlfriend, but don't get me wrong, not like I would like to climb that much, but that would mean that we would be like a third of the way up towards Mount Laguna, which would make tomorrow morning a bit somewhat easier, let's put it that way. It will be a struggle for sure, because it's quite steep and lots of elevation, but yeah, we'll see how we feel when we get to Boulder Oaks. And I mean, it's 2 o'clock now, so we have 2 miles to go. I would say we might get there around like 3, and then we have to decide. So we have until like, I want to say 7 until sunset, so that would be like 4 hours. But you know, because it's uphill, it's difficult to say if we can make it or not. There's a water source before those campsites, so we could refill our water bottles close by before we get to the campsite. Obviously the only problem is if all of the tent sites are taken, which obviously you won't know until you get there. And there were quite a few people in front of us, and I know at least one of them was aiming for that one, that location, and where we just had our lunch. A couple of people were talking about that spot too. One of them is in front of us, the other one, I'm pretty sure, gonna overtake us later down the line. So, you know, if just those 3-4 people stay there, that's like, you know, 4 tents. So I'm not sure how many sites are there, or like spaces, but yeah, we shall see. Oh, first river crossing. Well, not really, but you know. Ooh. Boom. Easy. Right, so we've just been to Boulder Oaks campground, refilled our water bottles, had a little rest, and we are heading towards Mount Laguna. Obviously we're not gonna make it there, it's too far, but we are hoping to get to a campground around 3 miles from here, 2.5, 3 miles, Kitchen Creek, I believe. So we'll see how that goes. There are not many campsites there, so they might be taken, which would be a shame because then the next one is like 3-4 miles away, and yeah, that would be. I'm not saying it, maybe a bit too far. I don't know. We are about to find out. Anyways, Boulder Oak campground was really nice. There was a lady there and the ranger, and the lady was giving us all the useful information about campgrounds, water in the next section, and you know, lots of pretty useful information. So that was great. That was great, and the ranger checked our permits, stamped our permits, and you know, we have our first stamp. And it was cool. It was nice. They were really helpful, and yeah. So that's it for now, and see how we're gonna get on. Alright, just a quick update. We got to the first tent site, and so there were 2 empty spaces, but we decided to push on, which means another 6k or 6 and a bit, like something like 4 miles from that point. You know, it's 5 o'clock already, so that probably means that we're gonna get there, well, I wanna say 6:30, the earliest, so it's gonna be a late one for us. Yeah, hopefully we can get there a bit sooner, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that, since there's a bit of a accent or altitude to be gained. So I think it's like 1,300 feet or 400 meters. Yeah, so, but anyways, we have to get there now, so there's no turning back, there's no point turning back, you know. So yeah, that's it. And ooh, look at that. Oh, forgot to mention that I'm gonna turn the camera over. It's easier, so I don't have to look at the camera while I'm walking. So we had our first rattlesnake encounter. Of course, I was the one leading the pack, and it was bang in the middle of the trail, chilling, and it scared me, even though it wasn't moving, so it was harder to spot actually. Luckily I saw the snake, and so we stopped, you know, in a distance, like a few meters away from it, and then actually Kimberly stepped closer to it, and then it started to rattle, and then moved away into a bush, and then, you know, we made sure that we have enough room away from the bush to pass, and then so we passed, but there were a few people behind us, so I stayed back and warned them of the snake, and now everyone's happy. Hello. Right, next update. So we just crossed the road, and we are about 2.3 miles from the campground we are planning to stay. So I hope we can get there before 7:30 or around 7:30. You know, sun sets at 7:20, I believe, or somewhere around that. So if we get there 7:30, we should have enough light to pitch up our tents and, you know, set up our stuff for tonight. Right, let me show you the view quick. So that's Kim, and that's the view. That's not a bad view for you. Yeah, this spot had a couple of places where the margin for error is pretty much zero. So if you slip, if you fall over a rock or something, you're gonna end up down there, which doesn't look that bad, but it's all the loose rock and some actual big rocks and whatnot. It would be very, very hurtful or very painful to fall down there. So you have to be careful when you are on this part, not to kick anything, not to slip or anything like that. So we are taking our time at those places, and just generally speaking, we make sure we check where we step. Anyways, here's the view again. Right, so we are not far from Cibbets flat campground. So we're gonna stay for the night, and yeah, we're gonna finish on 30k, which is like 18 and a half, something like that, miles. Just gonna quickly double check the miles. So we will be roughly mile marker 32.6 to finish. We're gonna go off trail a bit, but that's at 32.6 miles Flat Canyon Road, and yeah, so that's gonna leave us with, I think it's around 10 miles to Mount Laguna tomorrow, and still a bit of elevation gain, like what's that, 2,000 feet maybe, can't remember. Yeah, so that's it for today. This is the end of day 2 on the PCT, and I see you guys in the next one. Take care, bye.